Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the crazy tech world, and stay tuned because today we're going to talk about the Panasonic G85. I just received this Panasonic a few days ago, and I bought it with the lens that is 14 millimeters 2.5, and this lens works. If we compare to the full frame, on full frame this would be like 28 millimeter equivalent. Well, 2.5 is also, in terms of shallow depth of field, that would be, you have to multiply everything for 2, so 2.5 would be like f5 pretty much. However, we are getting the same amount of light as we would get with the f2.5 lens on the full frame. So actually it's not that bad for video because I can work in the same lighting conditions as if I would be working, say, with the full frame camera, and I'm quite happy with that. At the moment the camera is filming me with that same lens that I just mentioned. It's a tiny pancake lens. I don't think they produce them anymore. I've got mine on eBay from Japan, and it wasn't very expensive actually. It's just 140 euros I think I paid altogether for the lens. I'm quite happy with this lens actually because it's just fast enough in terms of aperture, f2.5. I don't get very shallow depth of field, but as you can see, my kitchen there at the back is just slightly blurred, and I'm not worried about that too much. Even though I like those shallow depth of field effects, it's still fine for the video. The main point of this camera is that it films 4K video at 100 megabits per second, and it's quite good. The 4K video is quite crisp and good quality with nice colors straight out of the camera on Panasonics. So that was one of the main reasons why I bought this camera. I have experience with other multiple cameras, like I just moved from Fuji, for example, and I know that you Fuji guys there would probably going to dislike me straight away now, because Fuji actually is a great camera, and to me moving from Fuji to this camera is kind of, from Fuji camera system I would say to the Panasonic camera system, is kind of degrade. But the main reason I did that is because I decided to get two separate cameras. One camera would be for photography, that I can use to picture my family and my little kid. So I want to achieve the shallow depth of field that I like so much. I know not everyone is that crazy about the shallow depth of field, but for the portraiture especially, for kids, you know, and for your own family, I think that's important. I like that effect anyway, and I cannot sacrifice this with the Micro Four Thirds camera, so I need a second camera. Well, Micro Four Thirds I'm going to use specifically for video, and I'm new to the video, so I just had a couple of YouTube movies, and I'm just also planning to film something for myself, like for my family, just for the memories, and maybe I will try to do some kind of artwork just to see how it goes for me, if I like it or not. So anyway, I wanted the 4K capable camera, and if you ask me what it is like in 2019, 2020, now is November 2019, I'd say that's fully capable. I like the crispness and sharpness out of this camera. Now I have the face tracking enabled, and this is what I was actually very eager to check because everyone is complaining is about the Panasonic autofocus, and I can say yes, for sure, it's slower than even Fuji, and not the latest Fuji. I had X-T20 before, and I can say that it's definitely slower than Fuji, but it's fast enough. Like, as you can see now, I have face and eye detection. Now I can see there is a square around my face there on the screen, and it is working pretty well. Like, I'm not moving crazy fast, obviously. I'm just using it for vlogging, and well, obviously the contrast is quite nice here, because the background is very dark and I'm pretty well lit, and this is a contrast based autofocus system, and I'm filming in 4K, where in 4K the autofocus on this particular camera G85 is supposed to be worse than in the full HD, but it's still good enough, and it's very convenient. So just for the purposes of YouTube videos, I can turn it on and start talking straight away like I'm doing now, and it's good enough. Like, if I'll be moving a bit quicker, probably, like, there we go, it lost me at the moment. Now it caught me again, like, and it never lost me while I've been talking to you since the beginning of this video, because I wasn't moving like really extreme to the really extreme corner. Like, now it will lose me, and so you have to stay like a little bit more in the center, but otherwise it's perfect just for a video, to record a conversation like this on a video. So quite happy with that. Also, on these cameras you can adapt like all the lenses, and I have like a few vintage lenses that I want to try. I just ordered an adapter so that I can try like old Minolta mount lenses, manual lenses, like 50mm Minolta Rockor, for example, or there is another one like Tamron 28mm f2.8, and I have another couple of lenses as well. So yeah, I can try those, and I can try those in kind of a creative way if I want. Oh yeah, important point as well, the image stabilization of this camera is pretty good. So I'm sure if you watched a couple of reviews about this camera already, you know that, and yeah, that's true. And even on this Pancake prime lens that I'm using now, which doesn't have an image stabilization, so you cannot use in conjunction both the lens stabilization and the camera stabilization, so-called dual IS. You cannot use that, but even just the camera with the camera stabilization enabled, it's already like a pretty smooth handheld videos I can do with this lens. Well, it's wide angle lens, so it wouldn't be as shaky as, say, like a long range lens. So yeah, it's quite good as well. It's definitely kind of an important thing when shooting outside. So if you ask me if this is a good purchase for video, specifically for 4K, and even to be more specific for YouTube in 2019 and even 2020, I'd say it's perfect. It's definitely fulfilling my needs at the moment, and I was considering other systems as well. In particular, I was thinking about Sony, and I was thinking about Fuji, to expand it to Fuji, but I moved away from Fuji for the main reason because it's too expensive for me at the moment for my needs, like as a hobbyist, and the camera itself, like X-T3, if you want to be more or less serious for Fuji filmmaking, It costs like over a grand, over €1,000. And lenses that I'm interested in for the shallow depth of field, like the 16mm f1.4 and the 56mm f1.2 for the portraits. They both cost like almost €700 each lens, and there are another nice lenses there in the lineup, and they're all quite expensive. There's another 50mm lens f1. 35mm lens f1.4, which is also quite nice, but it's also like €400, and I cannot justify paying this for the lenses. So instead of that, for the photography specifically, I decided to buy a full frame Canon camera, used something like 5D Mark II or 6D, or even I'm considering purely for the photography the oldest Canon 5D, which is 5D Mark I. That's only like 12 megapixel camera, but I used to have that in the past and I didn't have any problems with that, and the images are nice from it, and I can use the full potential of the full frame lenses. And the camera itself now on eBay is just about €300. I even seen them for say $250, something like that, which is extremely cheap. If you compare this price to say the price of the lenses of Fuji, that's ridiculous. Like, it's so cheap, and the lenses for Canon, they're also quite cheap. So I could get like an 85mm f1.8 USM lens, which is very nice and sharp and gives you that wonderful shallow depth of field and nice working distance, which is not too far away and not too close. Like, it's just perfect for portraiture, even for the portraits in the house, so inside of the house on the short distances. That lens would be like about just slightly over €200 used, and between €250 and €300 brand new. So come on, and I can buy another couple of lenses, like a 50mm, maybe something on the wide angle, on the wide end, and that's it. And that would be like, I don't think that would exceed €1,000 anyway, and I will have a full package for photography. And then I can use this camera, I can add another one or two lenses to it, and lenses are not that expensive for the micro four thirds either. There is a wide choice, so for the videography I can add another lenses which cost maybe a couple of hundred each, and I think I'll cover all my needs, like for the photography and videography as well. So that's it. The other camera that I was considering is Sony. Sony has crazy autofocus, like the Sony APS-C, for example, the Sony A6400 or A6600, A6500, even slightly older one. They all have wonderful autofocus, and they just being glued to your eye, and you can really jump around in front of the camera, and they would be like totally tracking your face, and that's amazing. But they're also a little bit expensive, I would say, and they wouldn't give me that extreme shallow depth of field as the full frame would give, and I don't really like the colors straight out of the Sony. I know they have wonderful flat profiles which can be processed in the software and get the most of it, but anyway, I think for now, for me, I just want to try this way, and what I'm seeing right now already the footage that I'm getting from this camera, Panasonic G85. I'm already quite happy with it. And if you ask me, yes, I can tell you definitely I would recommend it for anyone who wants to enter in the 4K video footage. So if you like this video, I hope it was helpful for someone. Put the thumbs up and subscribe. Until the next time.